In this video from LearnElectrics, we will look at the must-know voltage drop formulas in response to some recent requests for more information. We've been asked by several people if the voltage drop formulas can be made any easier. The tables just confuse me. There's too much going backwards and forwards in the book, and so on. So, what we will do in this video is what we call formula manipulation. We will show you then how to combine some different formulas that we might already know into just one formula that works better for us and is easier to use, especially as it uses no books. We can begin by looking at the standard voltage drop formula and the long way of doing things. There's nothing wrong with this formula, we just want to make it easier to use. Shown here is the familiar standard formula for calculating the actual volts drop in a circuit. When we've calculated an answer, we will need something to compare it to. In the regulations, this comparison is specified as a percentage of the nominal voltage. The table here shows the actual maximum voltage drop in volts for a 230 volt supply from the national grid, and you must know these values. Let's dissect the formula and make sure that we understand what each part is all about. Without understanding, there can be no learning. Begin with this little expression, MVAM. In relation to volts drop, this means millivolts per amp per meter length, and these numbers are found in several tables in Appendix 4 of the regulations. They tell us that a certain number of millivolts will be lost in the cable for every amp that flows through every metre of cable, depending on the cable size, type of cable, etc. Finding these tables and then finding the values is where many people struggle. But don't worry, we will show you how to eliminate these tables very shortly. The values in the tables are rounded up or down to suit, but the method we are about to use will eliminate these inconsistencies and ultimately be more accurate. Next is the term IB. This is the design current. How many amps did the manufacturer build it to use? Think of the design current as B for build, the build current. For a single point of use, this could be the actual shower or cooker rating. For lighting circuits and sockets, we might prefer to do the calculation using the rating of the circuit breaker. You should be able to remember the power triangle. Power divided by volts equals current. Or, as some prefer to call it, watts divided by volts equals amps. They're both the same, and it makes no difference which names you use. Remember that kW is thousands of watts. Anything in kilowatts must be multiplied by 1000 to convert it from kW or kilowatts into basic watts before using the calculations to find the amps. Here, a 2 kilowatt heater is the same as 2000 watts. The L is for the length of the circuit in meters in just one direction. An assumption is made that the line and neutral cables are the same size or cross-sectional area. And lastly, we have the number 1000. This is an important number. The MVAM number is in millivolts, but the maximum voltage limits are in volts. So, we divide the calculated answer by 1000 so that we can make a direct comparison in volts. All this will give us the actual voltage drop. If the actual voltage drop is less than the maximum permitted, then we can say that the circuit is satisfactory. That is, it is within limits in relation to voltage drop. These are the steps involved in the calculation using the standard formula the long way. First, you must check the cable size and type. Then, find the correct table for the type of cable in the regs book. Now find the right column and the right row for the cable size. And this will show you the appropriate MVAM number. Now, find the equipment rating and then use the power triangle calculation to find the amps or IB. Now find the length of the circuit and, if you've written all this down, you're now able to perform the calculation. But there is an easier way that involves no books, especially useful on site when inspecting and testing. The formula we will arrive at uses no books and is just one easy calculation to remember. Simply check the cable size, confirm the equipment rating or size of circuit breaker, find the length of the circuit, and that's it. This formula will work for all standard 70 degrees centigrade thermoplastic cables in singles or groups that are operating at 230 volts AC single phase up to 16mm CSA, and this will cover domestic and much of the commercial and light industrial circuits that we will come across. What we are going to do is to replace parts of the standard formula with other formulas that we already know and that mean the same thing. This is manipulation of formulas. Start with the MVAM part. The base number for this is 44 and it relates to a CSA of 1mm. We can replace MVAM with 44 over CSA. So if we had 2.5mm cable, 44 over 2.5 would be 17.6. In the regs book it is rounded up to 18. For 10mm cable, 44 divided by 10 is 4.4, the same as the regs book. So that's our first replacement, and most crucially, we don't need the book anymore, just 44 divided by the cable size. Now look at IB. We have two options here. If we already know IB, or we're using the amps rating of a circuit breaker, then do nothing, leave IB as it is. So IB for a 6 amp breaker is 6, and IB for a 32 amp breaker is 32. You get the idea. But if we don't already know IB, we can replace this with the watts or power of the equipment being installed. Watts divided by 230 volts will give us IB, but this way we can put the watts directly into the formula. Don't forget that if it is kilowatts, then we must multiply by 1000 to find the actual watts. If there are several loads on the circuit, just add all the wattages together. Now we are left with the length on the top row and the number 1000 on the bottom row. There's nothing that we can do with these, so leave them as length over 1000. So what have we got? 44 over the actual CSA of the cable, multiplied by watts over 230, remember the power triangle, and then multiplied by length over 1000. This will give us the actual voltage drop in volts. Let's tidy it up. 44 times watts times length on the top row, and actual CSA times 230 times 1000 on the bottom row. Here's an example. A domestic 3 kilowatt water heater is wired in 2.5mm twin earth cable with a circuit length of 25 meters. What is the actual volts drop? Everything we need to know is in the question. 3 kilowatts is 3000 watts. The length is 25 meters and the CSA of the cable is 2.5mm. Put these numbers into the formula and do the calculation. You should have 5.74 volts when rounded up. This is less than the 11.5 volts, the maximum permitted for a non-lighting circuit, and is therefore satisfactory. These were the actual values. The actual cable size gave us the actual voltage drop. It tells us that if you have this size cable, then your voltage drop will be this many volts. Now move on to the maximum and minimum values. We answer the question, what is the smallest size cable that I can use in a lighting circuit or a power circuit? Notice the slight change in the formula here and an easy one to remember. And move the CSA from the bottom on the left to the top on the right. Move VD from the top right to the bottom left. In doing this, the values have changed from actuals to maximum and minimum. Let's have another example to follow. A 6 kilowatt heater is installed in a small industrial unit. The supply is 230 volts, single phase, and the length of the circuit is 35 meters. What is the minimum size conductors to use? Here's our formula. The wattage is 6 kilowatts or 6000 watts and the length is 35 meters. We must use the maximum permitted voltage drop now, which is 11.5 volts for non-lighting. These values can go into the calculation to find the minimum CSA. Perform the calculation and out pops 3.49mm for the minimum cable size. The cable must be equal to or greater than this, so we should choose a 4mm cable, as this is the nearest standard size available to meet the criteria. Let's have a little review of what we've done and some calculations for you to try yourself. Formula number 1 shows us how we can find the actual voltage drop if we know the watts of the attached load. No books, no need to use the power law calculations, just put the numbers in. Formula number 2 is used if we already know the amps for IB, or if we are simply using the size of the circuit breaker as our maximum load. To calculate the minimum size or CSA of the cable, use this rearrangement instead. Number 3 shows the minimum cable size if we use the watts of the load, and number 4 is available to us if we use the circuit breaker size or already know the load in amps. We can put each of these 4 variations to the test with some examples to try ourselves. Example 1 is the actual volts drop using watts. We are asked to calculate the actual volts drop for a 500 watt spotlight wired in 1.5mm single cables with a circuit length of 80 meters. If you want to work this out for yourself, then now is the time to pause the video. We have our values provided in the question. Watts are 500, the length is 80 meters, and the CSA of the cable is 1.5mm. Put these numbers into the calculation and we have a voltage drop of 5.1 volts. This is a lighting circuit, so the maximum permitted is 6.9 volts, and this circuit easily complies with that. Try example 2 now. We want to know the actual volts drop by using the actual MCB rating. This time, a radial socket circuit in 2.5mm twin and earth is protected by a 20 amp circuit breaker. What would the actual volts drop be at full load if the circuit length is 41 meters? Again, pause the video if you want to attempt this before seeing the answer. Here is our relevant data. IB is the same as the fuse rating of 20 amps. The length is 41 meters and the CSA of the cable is 2.5mm. Calculate these and we have a voltage drop of 14.43 volts. With a maximum permitted drop of 11.5 volts and an actual of 14.43 volts, this circuit with this size cable clearly exceeds the prescribed limits. Example 3 is about finding the minimum cable size for a given load using the watts method. Here, a 9 kilowatt load is to be installed using 65 meters of twin and earth cable. What is the minimum CSA permitted using standard cable sizes to not exceed the permitted voltage drop? Now is your opportunity to pause the video and attempt this question yourself. From the question, we know that the wattage is 9 kilowatts or 9,000 watts. The length of the circuit is 65 meters and the maximum permitted voltage drop for non-lighting circuits is 11.5 volts. When these are put into the calculation, we have a minimum cable size requirement of 9.73mm. The nearest standard size equal to or greater than this is 10mm. Example 4 returns to a previous question. Our 20 amp socket circuit in 2.5mm cable showed a voltage drop in excess of 11.5 volts. So just what size cable should it be to meet requirements? Here is the question. A radial socket circuit is to be wired in twin and earth cable and protected by a 20 amp circuit breaker. What would be the minimum size cable chosen if this 41 meter circuit was to be used at full load? Again, pause the video and find your answer. The amps or IB is the same as the circuit breaker, 20 amps. The length is 41 meters and the maximum permitted volts drop is 11.5 volts for non-lighting circuits. The calculation shows the minimum size cable to be 3.14mm and we should choose the nearest standard size of 4mm. And there we have it, a brief lesson on manipulating formulas. When changing a formula, as we did here, we have used other formulas that mean the same thing to make the calculation more understandable and easier to use. We hope you've enjoyed this video and that, perhaps, you've put a little more knowledge into your mental toolbox. Thank you for watching this video, it's very much appreciated. Please subscribe to our channel to get access to all of our videos, and remember to click on notify to be sure of not missing our next video. Here are some tips on getting even more information and help out of LearnElectrics.com. At your web browser, enter LearnElectrics.com into the search bar. Select LearnElectrics.com from the choices offered, and the website, as shown, will open up for you. You now have a couple of choices. You can search for a help item or any video by entering a keyword into the search bar on the right. Click on Return and all the help files and videos with that word in the title will be listed for you. They will be shown with a short description, and each video listed will have a link shown that will take you directly to that exact YouTube video. Or you can browse through a list of all the available items and videos. To do this, click on the LE logo on the top left of the home page, and all of our items and videos will be shown. There will be 10 items shown on each page, and at the bottom of each page is a page selector. Page 2, page 3, 4 and so on, that will bring up the next 10 items or videos in the list. And don't forget that you can also type in LearnElectrics, all one word, into the YouTube search bar to go directly to our channel at any time from any computer. We are constantly adding new videos to our channel, don't miss the next one. Once again, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again very soon.